If you're looking for a mending stitch or a darning stitch on the Singer Confidence Quilter model 7469Q, I'm going to recommend the multiple point zigzag. So this stitch here is 0-5 and it's one of our buttons that we can just push. So let me just show you what it looks like if you just sew it at the default setting. So it's a zigzag that instead of going zig and zag, there's stitches in between on its way to each side. So I'm going to show you how we're going to alter it. So if you had an actual rip in your fabric that you would then take something to put behind it, so another piece of fabric, some interfacing, something. You can't just stitch over two pieces of fabric that might be ripped or cut apart. But what we're going to do is we're going to shorten this stitch length and also make it a little bit wider. So let's go ahead and make our width all the way up to the full 7 millimeters wide. And then we're going to bring these stitches really close together. So if you go below one, they're going to kind of like pile up. So I'm going to find that just a little bit above one, you're going to be able to stitch really close together. They're going to be very compact and they're going to build kind of this new foundation of thread to help hold your fabrics together. So let's pretend that our rip in our fabric is right here. Maybe it's like a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch long. Of course, it could be any length because as you'll see by the way this stitch is, you're going to be stitching back and forth with lots of little stitches. You just want to make sure that you set the length. I'm going to just make it just a little bit longer just so it looks like it's going forward and I can show you what it is doing. And then if you want to go ahead and lift up the presser foot, so this is where we started, and this would be fine to start off with. I just wanted you to see that you can lengthen it out and have a little bit more gap if necessary, but really the more stitches the better. So turn it around and then come back this way. What you want to do is kind of overlap those stitches so they kind of meld into each other. And then that way too, if your rip is wider, you're actually moving just a little bit to each side every time you make a run down the fabric. So you can just lift, turn it, and you can see how we're really building almost this new foundation of threads as you stitch. Now the reason I'm having to turn it around is because the reverse button is not going to send this stitch in the reverse order of it, but you can definitely use this stitch to do what a lot of people still do by hand, and look how much easier it is to do by machine. Make sure you check out all the videos on the Singer Confidence Quilter model 7469. We've got links below for you to check out.